Mm. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. You gotta move on up a little higher, Lord. Carry me home. You got to move on up a little higher, Lord. Sing my hallelujah song. Y'all know that part? You got to move on up a little higher. Y'all know about that old school traditional Mahalia Jackson. Good morning, y'all. Running just a little late for this Sunday morning worship, but I'm glad y'all showing up because I have something really quick to share with y'all. Come on in. Just come on in. This is another edition of that Sunday morning worship. Won't he do it? Hallelujah. Oh, glory. Oh. And I try to bring it to you every week. A little sermon, amen. Something that will soothe your soul, that will cause your brain matter to splatter during the rest of the week. Won't he do it? So this is why I'm here. Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Mary Max. And I think I got a semi-doozy for you. I think I have a couple more to share with y'all today, but come on in. Welcome to Rico's Sunday morning worship. The original, you hear me? I'm going to get right to it. And everybody else, just come on in as I share my thoughts. And you can listen to the playback on my YouTube channel, as well as this Facebook page, Rico the Opinionist. All right. Something just happened that made a lot of folks in the black community happy, particularly black women. Jim Crow Joe Biden, Crime Bill Joe, Dementia Joe, has go ahead and picked one of the 5 nominees of black women to nominate to the Supreme Court. I thought he was gonna go with the biracial chick, but I guess he wanted to make sure he got this black right. So he picked the sister Ketanji Brown Jackson, and I looked up the Jackson part, and her husband is named Jackson. I said, okay, a white dude. Dun, dun, dun. Shocking, I know. Yeah, all of them had white husbands, though. And so that, I wasn't shocked. Because I'm going to tell y'all this right now. I know a lot of you sleep on a lot of stuff I'm saying because we live in the now or this politically correct time. But always, whenever I'm speaking off of the energy and the history and the essence of the ancestors. The scholars who gave us this knowledge of white supremacy and through their books, their lectures. And I paid attention to these scholars. Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. Amos Wilson, Dr. Joy Leary, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, Dr. Julia Hare, Dr. Ben Yakahanan, Dr. Ivan Van Sertima, Dr. Naeem Akbar, Brother Dale Jones, Brother Neely Fuller, Dr. Claude Anderson. The ancestors, they wrote out a blueprint for us to read and understand how white supremacy worked. Brother Neely Fuller said white supremacy, he coined it this way. He said, white supremacy, if you don't understand it, I'm going to say its agenda, its purpose, everything else will only confuse you. And Dr. Frances Cress Welsing brought it on home. And so when I look at these particular situations that occur in America, I look at it through the lenses of our ancestors. Shout out to Tino Lucian. Good morning, Cuzzo. I listen to what our ancestors, our scholars said to us. So it helps me to navigate my way through the minutia that we call reality in America. Unfortunately, a lot of us still view our own race, through the lenses of the white racists and the white supremacists. I know, but by the way, let me do this disclaimer. This post is going to offend black multiculturalists, black integrationists, black diversifiants or the diversifiers, and black intersectionalists. So if you're part of that 4 groups of blacks, y'all just go ahead and get ready to be offended. Because one thing, when the scholars wrote stuff for us, it was only to tell our people the truth that will last forever. Right? Tell us the truth. We won't read the books. We won't read the papers. We won't even go on YouTube and check out the lectures. They're timeless. They're still very, very relevant today. But those 4 groups of blacks, they think we've overcome. We've become post-racial and things are not what they seem. It's not all about race. So they picked this black chick. And then I think I saw somebody's post where they were so proud to announce that she's a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. You know, and black Greeks might get offended. So it's 5 groups of blacks. They get offended when you start talking like African-centered scholars, because there's no way Greekdom fit into African-centered knowledge. So, you know, shout out to W.B. Du Bois. I know he tried, but he hated Marcus Garvey's Back to Africa movement and black independent movement, because he said, we's good white folks over here. We's obeying the law and you's making it hard for us, Marcus Garvey, talking about that old independent and go build your own land and nation. You know, I'm a good mulatto nigger. That was W.B. Du Bois. I know the alpha's gonna kill me. They love that Negro. But anyway, but I'm not saying that he didn't contribute a lot of cool information. But when he was on his mulatto tripping, when he was on his biracial kick, oh, America's all great with him. Until he wrote something about, I guess, lynching or the hypocrisy of white racism. It finally hit him. And it kicked him out of the Crisis magazine and NAACP and all of that. And then guess where he ended up moving to and dying? In Accra, Ghana, Africa. But that's a whole nother life. I know y'all read up on these little these so-called non-African centered scholars. So Ketanji Brown Jackson has a white husband. And her white husband, just a goofy, corny white man. You know, the same goofy, corny that black women at large dismiss, ignore, put to the side if he was black. But if he can be goofy and corny and rhythmless and be white. Oh yeah, we're gonna get into the hypocrisy of black women in the country. And of course, not all, but y'all know I'm speaking generally because I haven't met everybody. But generally, black women are hypocrites on so many levels. Now, in the black community, hypocrites at large when it comes to which blacks they like and which ones they don't like. So, this black woman does not have a history of working for and on behalf of black people. Because black women seem to only want a black face. That's it. They don't care about any work that she's done on behalf of the black family or the progression of the black race. They don't care. That's how they end up with Kamala Harris, which showed us something new. She showed us that your genetics is determined by attending a HBCU and pledging a black sorority. That determined her genetics. Because Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles can clearly see that this woman was not black. But she said, I pledged Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. And she went to a HBCU called Howard University. So genetically, that made her black. I said, wait a minute. Now, I took 8th grade biology. I never wrote nothing about that in Lifespans. That little thick-ass biology book that had that gecko holding dearly to that leaf. Y'all remember that book? Lifespans over the years or something like that? On page 238, they didn't say that. About all you had to do was attend a black school or date a black chick or date a black man, and all of a sudden you become black when you're not black. Kamala pulled a new one on us, and guess what? Tons and tons and tons of black folks bought the narrative and tried to share it with others who are not insane, or who obviously did not flunk 8th grade biology. So Tanji, let me see, what is it? Tananji, what's that? Ketanji Brown Jackson. His family was rooted back to her husband, very white man, real white man. They met at Harvard. She said, and I read someone said that was her first serious boyfriend. First serious boyfriend, white man. I didn't think she even dated any black dudes at all. So they met whatever at Harvard. They're both studying, I guess, at Harvard, as the article says. And it says that his family dates all the way back to England before the Mayflower. Mm-hmm. And when I did a little background to see who she was, what she's about, her fight has always been, listen, black men, her fight has always been women and minorities. Let me give y'all a minute. Because black dudes don't seem to be believing people like me or some brothers in the black manosphere or the manosphere when we telling y'all that you don't know that you're usually sleeping with the enemy in today's modern black woman. Look at the cover of Essence magazine, this for March 1st. A lot of you don't believe it's just sleeping with the enemy. Yeah, she looks like your mama. She looks like your sister. Anyway, this is what they say. Any black man who decides to date outside his race, your mama black. But they never tell Serena Williams that her daddy was black. Never told Janet Jackson her daddy was black. Never told Tika Sumpter, Whoopi Goldberg, Diane Carroll. None of these black women, your daddy black. Because they had all the white men. They never told Dr. Maya Angelou, your daddy black. So, but every black man decides to date out of his ethnicity or his race, they have to be reminded, your mama black. Yeah, we still doing that. So I wonder if any of these strong, black, and powerful, empowered black women going to point out to Ketanji Brown Jackson, your daddy black. And she's a real black, it's an actual black sister. Black woman. And guess what he did back in the day? He was recently, the white husband, he celebrated the anniversary of the Loving versus United States, where the black woman went to court to try to fight to marry her white man. And brothers, y'all still think these are our sisters? Now, I know it's a lot of sweet women out there who like black men. Shout out to Mary Max and everybody who's like Mary Max. When y'all see Mary Max, we're way better. She's one of those sisters who actually like black men. She understands history. She understands the game that's being played, the old bait and switch in our race. But a lot of these so-called empowered sisters, and when she's not Greek affiliated either, she's able to have that broader thinking. And so, but for the masses, we need to catch up, black men, the politics. Catch up with the politics of race and gender. Black women have groomed generations of black girls to be on that. And they've had marches after marches where they've aligned themselves with non-black women to get political leverage. Not for the sake of our race, just for the sake of them. And we're not paying attention. We have a lot of black women who are attorneys, judges, and all that, but they lock as many black men up as we would say the white racists would be. Then also there's a book called Daughters of the Trade where black women volunteered to be the white man's concubine because they thought they would probably get them a leg up on the plantation, which it's done. And they've done it again in history when they volunteered to say, okay, I accept your $4 if we kept the black man out the house, kept the black man away from his children. They call it child support today, as well as AFDC and all this other stuff. I'm not trying to create a wedge. It's already a wedge. I just need black men to understand. Your enemy is not just the white man, the white woman. It's that chick that you say, man, she got ass though. Who have blogs after blogs saying that black male is dangerous. But yes, she continues to produce children. There's a blog about on YouTube. She's telling black women, if you get pregnant and you know that you're having a black son, abort it. Hey, go look it up yourself. I'm just saying. Her name is Ketanji Brown Jackson. with her white husband. And, you know, when I did some research on her, I said, know who she sounds like with her views on race? You know, it wasn't race that wasn't a problem for me to get me here. A race wasn't an obstacle for me. And almost like race isn't an issue. Because not only does she have a white husband, she made the choice to have non-black children. Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, a black woman. Put a pin in that. You ever notice that black women that I name, like Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, Dr. Julia Hare, Sister Shahrazad Ali, who else? Attorney Michelle Alexander, who wrote the book The New Jim Crow. So I think she's biracial, but sister, but she wrote something about helpful to our community and the race. So, Michelle Alexander. You ever notice that these black women are never celebrated by the masses of BET black women, the higher up sororities, the so-called professional black women, the Essence Festival black women, Essence Magazine black women? You ever notice they're never celebrated? They always want to talk about Michelle Obama. But they never talk about or celebrate nor invite these black women into their spaces when they have their little conferences on race and family. You ever notice that? They'll have a whole segment on this obese Jabba the Pizza Hut broad by the name of Dr. Brittany, Cooper. Brittany Cooper? Yeah. About how she says that she's fat because of Trump's racist policies. So a racist policy caused you to put a whole gallon of ice cream in your mouth? That's Brittany Cooper can sit on a panel, but they never have a panel to discuss family and race with Sister Shahrazad Ali. They never did it with Sister Doctor, psychiatrist of more than 40 years, rest in power, Sister Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. The only time we got to see these people is when Tavis Smiley had his State of the Black Union address, and we got to see Dr. Julia Hare. Now everybody got to see it because all black folks got down with that. It was too black. It was almost militant because Minister Farrakhan was there and all that. I'm telling you, we are our own worst enemy. Own worst enemy. Good morning, Finesse. How are you? They don't. And y'all should write these people. Write the Essence Festival. Write your, these black women that put on all these forums and brunches. Why they never have a discussion with Sister Shahrazad Ali? She's still alive. Why don't they ever invite her to their podcast? Madame Noir, The Shade Room, and all these, Essence Magazine blog. They never invite Sister Shahrazad Ali on to have a conversation about the black family. And then it dawned on me, I said, you know why they never have black women like this? To give them light and give them shine? Because they talk about the black family in the original sense. And then also, meaning man, woman, and child. They also talk about the bad behavior of black women, how they've more than contributed to the breakdown, I'm trying to get it out, the breakdown of the black community. They also talk about how awesome and how powerful and how great black boys and black men are. None of these women that they bring to the Essence Festival ever talk about black men in a loving and glowing fashion, in the manner in which that connotes importance. Never. But black women across America never ever thought about, why don't they have these sisters? Why aren't we introducing Shahrazad Ali to our daughters? Why aren't we introducing Sister Dr. Julia Hare to our daughters? Why aren't we introducing Dr. Cynthia McKinney to our daughters? Wait a minute, because they're telling your daughters to love black boys and black men. And the feminists are not going to have it. The haters of black men, the haters of the black families, not just the white supremacists, it's the black feminists and the misguided sisters who are angry because of the choices they made in the men in their lives. So they want to punish not only black men who are here, but those who are not here yet. So we go and pick, so we're celebrating, not me, but there are people celebrating because a black face is in a white space called Ketanji Brown Jackson. And nothing she's ever done has been for the benefit of the black family. Nothing. Read her history. See, I'm about pushing the black family. Rico, you aren't married. Rico, you don't have any children. You are correct. Because I'm not going to bring any bastard kids here if I don't have a wife and a strong bonded relationship. I'm not going to do that. Now, I have some casual kicking around with you all day long. Because you got ass, though. We're not going to bring any bastard kids here. I know that's become the new normal or the accepted norm in the black race. Bastard children everywhere. And then they try to come up with this whole thing about, we can be good as single mothers. But see, to say that means that you don't respect God. You don't respect the science of psychology or 8th grade biology when it talked about human development over lifespan. See, masculine and feminine, mother and father have to be there to raise children properly. Well, it doesn't mean all the children who was raised by two parents came out right, but it increases the chances. But when you decide to have it as a woman by yourself, it decreases their chances of balance and normality. Come on, somebody. Or should it be normalcy? And two more things. Isn't it interesting that the black race went all in on Clarence Thomas for having a white wife? And his record is pretty much like Ketanji Brown Jackson's record. Y'all said it. He didn't do nothing for black folks, and when he get on the bench, he ain't going to mention black folks. He's not going to do any rulings that's going to be progressive for black folks. Based on his whole workup, his whole how y'all put him in the box. Because, guess what? He's been silent for 25, 30 years. But guess who has a very similar makeup of Clarence Thomas? Ketanji Brown Jackson. When she gets on that bench, she's not going to mention black folks either. She's already filled the quota. She's black and she's a woman. But her political views, her racial views are all connected to what she's done in her life. That is, cross over and gone into the white sector of society. Dr. Frances Cress Welsing wrote, and she said it out loud because I was there in the lecture when she said it in 2003 on the campus of Fisk University at a hip-hop conference where I met her and Brother Neely Fuller for the first time. Who you lay down with, who you marry, who you share your bed with, is who you share your philosophy with. Shout out to Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. She said a lot of stuff. Y'all go and get the ISIS papers and start looking at her lectures and get some sense. Because she dropped a lot of jewels when she was here with us. And we didn't appreciate it. Because see, Clarence Thomas, the same thing, but y'all railroad him, drug him. You did all that to Clarence Thomas, but this woman is the same makeup. The very same makeup. But the only difference is, he's a Republican and she's supposed to be a Democrat. How stupid can we be that a political title makes a difference in one's philosophy? They're the same party. But that's what keeps us childlike in a political game for centuries, for at least the past 60 years. It keeps us childlike, the same situation when it comes to politics. And you're right, B. Mario McDuffie. She said the same thing. They shared the same philosophy that Clarence Thomas said. You're right, she did. Her philosophy is the same as Clarence Thomas. But also, I'm not done yet with the comparisons because I'm tired of this black hypocrisy. You know else who she sounds like? She sounds like Candace Owens. Candace Owens, and when it comes to race and America and all of this, Ketanji, let me look at her name again. Ketanji Brown Jackson sounds exactly like Candace Owens. Certainly not as cute as Candace Owens, my goodness. But she sounds exactly like her. And guess what? They're very identical. Candace Owens has a white husband and a non-black child. He's a goofy, corny white man. Ketanji Brown Jackson has a goofy, corny white man with non-black daughters. So tell me, what's the big difference? Oh yeah. Ketanji is supposed to be a Democrat. And Candace is a conservative. Republican, I guess. Look, y'all, don't make me appear to be the smartest guy in the room all the time, because I know I'm not. I know I'm not. I know I'm not the smartest guy in the room. I'm just the one who has the nerve to say this kind of shit out loud. We're going to get it one day. And we keep on getting made a fool of because we haven't matured to politics. Politics is not about party. It's about what you can do for me for my vote, or what I can get out of you. But we're so stupid. You know. We say Mary Mack, she says, probably the same ideology, just under different political psychosis. We're going to get it together one day. We're going to get it one day. The same people. So are y'all about to tell me that y'all some slick conservatives? Because that's what she is. She don't give a shit about the black race in this country. And none of those nominees, those black women, all of them had white husbands. See, but I know that you can have a black wife and all that and still don't have that. But we seem to zoom in on the black men who got white wives. We know they don't care about black people. Look, he ain't got no black woman. But we seem to conveniently look past these black women with these non-black husbands. You don't think that's a philosophy and a mindset to go with that either? Come on, y'all. Oh my God. I'll mention these great people again. Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. Ben Yakahana, Dr. Ivan Van Sertima, Dr. Jawaza Kunjufu, Brother Michael Porter, Brother Neely Fuller, Brother Dale Jones, Dr. Amos Wilson. I'll keep naming them until one of these days. I'll keep naming these people so one day we'll pick up one of their books and start getting, catching up on how this thing really works and what this reality is really about. Because for those of you who think we're winning something, we're not winning. Because hold on real quick. Mary Mack says all of them but one. I think I know that lady. She says all but one judge is for consideration has a black spouse. I think she was thrown in there for good measure. Yeah, I guess that's for somebody like me, but it's amazing how we a lot of us who think this childlike and so naively, we have law degrees, master's degrees, bachelor's degrees, PhDs, and we work in all areas of corporate America. We work in education, we work in law. We do everything, but still we're very childlike and ignorant when it comes to our race and the purpose of politics. The most dangerous thing any group can do is ignore that there's a robber or a villain at your door. It's so easy what Malcolm X said. So who's worse? The wolf, he's showing his teeth, or the fox? And so far, since Malcolm spoke those words, we've allowed the fox in the hen house. And y'all know fox love chickens just like the wolf does. And our chickens are being slaughtered by all these Democratic and liberal foxes. We're not even paying attention. And we look at it and we say, well, at least there ain't no wolf. You can't make this shit up. I just wanted to share that. So y'all can think about it next time you try to label somebody who you think ain't black because they got a white wife, but y'all never hold the black women with white husbands and white boyfriends accountable the way you do black men. And they're the ones who've been given political clout, given economic status in this country, given because women can't beat nobody's ass in an actual fight. They can try to shame, insult, and guilt you and name call you into stuff, but they can't beat themselves out of a white paper bag in a real actual battle. So they were given. And that's not the bad part. The part is they don't even have enough racial pride or racial connection to us to even be the spook who sat by the door. Go read the book, go check out the movie if you don't know what that concept is. But black women are no longer the spook who sat by the door. They're the spooks inside of the room and won't do nothing for the black race. They're all over the place. I'm not the only one who sees this. But yet they won't bring anything back to the community. They won't do anything as relates to nation building and family building because they've been given their assignment 50 years ago by feminists and white racists. They are, as some people have accused them of being, right hand of white supremacy. Of course, not all, but y'all know the ones they've chosen to be the thought leaders for black women, the black community, and that's why we're still mentally living in a shithole. Y'all be cool. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll probably come back with another thought-provoking topic. Peace, y'all.